Hello, welcome to this video. This is a timeless tarot reading for the North Node in Scorpio sign in astrology. Your astrological North Node is your destiny in this lifetime. It's where you're supposed to be headed or the direction that you're going. And in some ways, it is also what you've incarnated to do here on planet Earth, and at least according to astrology. And for that reason, I am fascinated by the North Nodes. So I thought I would share this video with you. I thought people could find some useful information here. But if you don't know what your North Node is, I put a calculator, a link to a calculator in the description below. You need to know your time of birth. So if you don't know your time of birth, you can contact Vital Records to get an updated birth certificate if you're in the United States. You can contact the hospital in which you were born if you know what that is. And then alternatively, you can ask a family member if they remember what time. You should only watch one of these videos because you only have one North Node. I was first brought on to the concept of the North Nodes when I was 26. I went to see an astrologer in Portland, Oregon, and at the end of our sessions, she said, "Zane, you have to go downstairs and you have to buy this book, Astrology for the Soul." And I'm really glad I did, because in some ways it changed my life to the degree that a book can. It changed the way that I looked at my destiny and the way I viewed my path and my purpose. And so I have a link to this book in the description below. If this is something that you're interested at all in, this is a great resource and something I highly recommend any sort of person who's into astrology read. Now, I thought what I would do here is just read this overview section for you to get a taste of what this is. So overview: attributes to develop. Work in these areas can help uncover hidden gifts and talents. So if you work on these things, you can get some sort of talent or gift uncovered. So you have self-discipline, choosing constructive change, releasing whatever causes stagnation and low energy, eliminating non-useful possessions, enjoying things without having to own them, accepting support from others, ideas, monies, opportunities, enjoying high-risk situations that make one feel alive, awareness of others' psychology, their desires, wants, needs, and motives, openness to partnering, supporting, and merging power with others. So this is a very, this is an in-depth book. There are like 50 or so pages on 40 to 50 pages on each North Node. And so it's a really great tool to have in your toolkit if you're interested in this. But let's go ahead and see where you might be in your destiny. I've gone ahead and already shuffled the cards because I knew the intro would be long. So let's see what we have here for you, North Node in Scorpio. If this message resonates, please do consider hitting that like button so other people can see the video. Subscribe for future updates and drop a comment. Let me know what you think. The other thing about the North Nodes is it will be the hardest thing you work on in this lifetime, because it's the opposite of what comes easy to you. You also have a South Node, and your South Node is what's natural, what's easy to you, because you came into this lifetime with that gift or those gifts. And so the North Node, if you can work through it, provides the biggest rewards in this lifetime, at least according to astrology, in some respects. So let's go ahead and make sure everything's in view here, and we'll get right into this for you. All right, energy on the bottom. You have the moon. So this is potentially warning you that there's something that's not as it appears. However, what I really feel like is going on here is there's maybe some emotional situation, an overly charged, emotionally charged sort of situation potentially coming in here for you. And the thing about the moon to remember is to not stress about it, because this is a temporary situation that you can easily work past. If you think about the moon comes up, the moon goes down, right? And it phases through cycles quickly. So this indicates something that will come and go. And so it's definitely not something to be concerned about, but I do feel like maybe there's an emotional situation that may be coming in or may have already happened. But overall, as is the case for most of these North Node readings, yours looks very good. So right away here in the middle, you have the Five of Wands. This is potentially some sort of conflict, and this is what I'm saying here with this moon card. Potentially dealing with sparring with other people. You could be having an internal conflict too about where in your destiny you are, how far along you are. The conflict can also be mental or internal. Now, in the past, you have the Three of Pentacles. Could be a situation with a teammate that you're quarreling with or dealing with at this time, with the Three of Pentacles, the Five of Wands, and the Moon. However, this also suggests to me that in the past, you have been successful. You've received some sort of reward and recognition for craftsmanship. Some of you in your destiny, you have become a master. You've probably focused on one thing and became very, very good at that thing. I do feel like that's potentially possible for some of you. You have the Emperor as well. This is a really nice card. This is big boss energy, the energy of authority, the energy of leadership. It's good things happening at work. And you also have this Queen of Swords here, which is somebody who really cuts to the chase, cuts through anything that's no longer serving them. And the thing about the Queen of Swords is they can be quite difficult because they're not afraid to be straight up with somebody. And so for some of you, there could just be a tension or a conflict here brewing because of, like, I feel like you've been successful, but I feel like there's some jockeying for position here that maybe you're handling right now. And this could be a lesson along your path, along your journey. Now, in your current situation, you have the Strength card, the Five of Wands, and the Judgment. Well, I really like to see this, first of all, because this Strength card is the energy of energy, okay? It's some sort of energetic event happening in your life. It's also a card of power, and it's a card of making courageous, bold moves in whatever it is that you're doing. You can see this person so courageous that they're walking next to a lion. And so for some of you, it's standing your ground here very clearly with this Five of Wands, not letting anyone compromise your position or anything like that is what I feel like is going on here. For some of you. For others of you, you're taking a leap into a new place that's scary, but ultimately it's going to require courage for you to take this leap, but ultimately it's coming in with some sort of reward, because not only that, but you have the Judgment card under it, which I love to see this in a destiny reading, because this is an inner calling. This is an awakening or a rebirthing process. A very strong card, second to last of the major arcana. It's also the card of karma, meaning there's some sort of level of reciprocity here. I feel like you've given in the past and now you're ready to reap your karmic reward. And if anything, you're probably going to triumph over this situation. Now, in the future, you have the Six of Cups, the Eight of Swords, and the Knight of Pentacles. So what's going on here is there is some sort of financial event happening. This is a really good card, a really good sign for you with this Knight of Pentacles. Could mean that some of you are due for a job change or a job raise, especially with the Emperor. Some of you are dealing with an investment in your life. And the thing is, this Knight is charging forward on their horse and saying, here's your pentacle. Like, here's what you've been investing in, here's what you've been working towards. And there's an element of time that comes along with the Knight of Pentacles, so it's not a lottery win. It's not something quick. It's something that you've nurtured and you've grown. You also have the Eight of Swords. Don't let this conflict hold you back too much, okay, is what I feel like saying. This is somebody who's trapped in fear, not able to see the road ahead because they've placed a blindfold on themselves. And so don't let your fear of what may go wrong get in the way of this success here. And it could mean that you just have a long history with whatever's going on right now with this Moon card, the Five of Wands situation, and this maybe teammate or someone else in a group situation here. But we're going to go ahead and clarify and see what other information we can get. So let's get some oracle messages here. Okay. So the first thing you have is unlikely. And the second thing you have is ask for help from others. So this is really interesting because the Three of Pentacles is indicating teamwork or other people. And you also have that asking for help with unlikely. Perhaps there's an internal conflict. Perhaps there's somebody, remember what we just read at that beginning is like merging with other people's ideas. And I feel like you're ready for this. I feel like group situations don't have to be tenuous. Like, it doesn't need to be like a conflict for you. here. I feel like you can feel safe knowing that these people, I feel like, I don't know that someone's undermining you. I feel like your fears are getting in the way. And here we have Kali Ma, facing fear. Major spiritual changes are unfolding. This is your chance to soar. With that Eight of Swords in the Kali Ma, it does suggest that you're fearful of something going a certain way. And it's almost like you'll never know if you don't try type of deal. You have Kurnanos, life force. Express your driving passions. Sensual and sexual powers are increased. Some of you dealing with that, but also some of you are dealing with transmutation of the sacral chakra and using it for creative situations. Then you have Horus, cosmic gateway. Your thoughts are magnetic and powerful. Miraculous changes are occurring. You're going to come in here in the next couple weeks or in the future here. You're going to make a major change in the way you view something. You're going to make a major change in the way that your thoughts operate. I feel like you are going to recognize that you don't need to live in fear, and you're going to make some changes towards a more positive, I feel like, outcome, or towards a more positive way of viewing either a conflict or a perceived conflict. It might not even be something that needs to be a conflict. It may just be perceived for you. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, you have the Wheel of Fortune. That's the Destiny card. We're talking about your destiny here, so I like to see that. The Ten of Wands and the Five of Cups. So it's clear to me that you have had difficult situations with either people or group situations in the past. You may have at some other point in your life, or maybe even in a past life, had challenging teammates, colleagues, or social situations, but this is changing, because with the Wheel of Fortune, that is the wheel of your destiny spinning. That's a positive change in luck, a positive change in fortune. And since we are talking about your destiny here, that is on top of or clarifying the Three of Pentacles. For you, the way through this is to really hear all perspectives and realize that not everything needs to be a conflict, is what I feel like saying. The Ten of Wands suggests that you have fought an uphill battle. You are you've crossed the finish line with the Ten of Wands. And the thing is, each one of those wands represents some sort of skill, experience, or knowledge that you've gained along the road, along the path. And so, especially with that Emperor card, you are experienced in something, you're skilled in something, and you know how to handle this. I feel like it's just you're fearful. There was a disappointment with somebody here, as I've said in the past, that I feel like is affecting your present situation. You have the Seven of Wands, King of Pentacles, and the Nine of Wands. This is what I was picking up on this whole time. With that Five of Wands, that's conflict. But with the Seven of Wands, that's competition. And I felt competition as I was reading that Strength card. And there it is. So it's interesting because the Seven of Wands is defending yourself, and it's defending your position. It's standing strong in what you know. And you have that clarified with the Strength card, which is just magnetizing that definition even more. So you really are being called on to be bold and courageous if people are trying to make you out to be someone you're not, is what I feel like saying here. You have the King of Pentacles with the Five of Wands. Your abundance, your destiny, your harvest is coming through this peaceful resolution of a conflict or a group situation. I sound like a broken record, but this is what's going on right now, I feel like, for some of you. And the thing is, if your judgment, if your inner calling, your awakening has stopped progressing or has not come in yet, that Nine of Wands is telling you you're almost there. Look, you had this Ten of Wands in the past and now the Nine of Wands in the present situation. This conflict from the past is causing you to be rigid, to be shy, to be timid. And just don't give up at this time. The Nine of Wands is a card of not giving up. It's a card of perseverance. You have the Ten of Pentacles, King of Swords, and the Justice card. Libra energy, scales energy. This is a Libra, this is a Libra, and this is divine law and order here coming out and working out in your favor, okay? So you are ultimately getting the outcome you deserve. It looks like what you are getting here with that Ten of Pentacles is some sort of harvest, some sort of increase in abundance in the future. That is one of the most abundant cards in the tarot, the second most, probably the second most. It's something that has a large quantity associated with it, or a large sum. Could mean an investment paying off, such as real estate, or shared resources with a family member. It could even be some of you are getting a inheritance in the future. I'm not saying right away, but I'm saying with that Six of Cups, someone from the past, like a family member, passing something down through their generation. Something like that's happening. But with the Knight of Pentacles, you are getting the financial outcome you truly deserve here. And for you, it looks like there could be something really nice on the horizon. But with the Moon and some of these other cards, it just hasn't happened yet. And I feel like that's causing you to dip into fear mode here. So that's what I'm feeling here for you. Let's see what else we have. Okay, you have family room, official person, thoughts, courthouse, imprisonment, privileged lady, courtship, house. What did I say? Something about real estate going on there. And there's a legal situation. Inheritance is legal. Estates are legal situations. Some of you in the future getting that. Others of you, like there's shared resources here. The conflict could be that we've been talking about this whole time. Instead of with a colleague, it could be with a family member, or even a spouse, something like that, partner, something like that. But for others of you, the people in positions of authority here with official person are taking note of, they're watching you carefully and how you respond to or handle a situation. And ultimately, if you're not in this other scenario where like there's money being passed down or shared resources, ultimately the way that you are viewed here by this authority figure is going to lead you to your abundance, almost, is what I feel like saying. Like the way that you handle some sort of conflict is going to lead to a raise or a higher paying job or something like that going on. So thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe, check out my website, zaneintuitive.com. Consider becoming a Patreon. I will see you in the next one.